Thank you for joining us. And I want to encourage you, if you're watching, comment, chat us up. We're going to get into question and answer session. And recently, I came across one of the ways to building wealth. Like I told you, the four pillars is being free, being successful in terms of cash flow, being successful in terms of getting the right knowledge. Very, very important. And I came across a gentleman who started showing me and started teaching me, about building wealth or transferring wealth through insurance. As a real estate investor, I do a lot of transactions in a year. We do millions and millions of dollars. And I do know about, a layman level, like a layman, I do know what insurance is all about. It's all about, you know, putting yourself together, insuring yourself just in case, something bad happens, you know. But I never knew that, with certain insurance, it is structured in a way that even while you're alive, you're going to be getting benefit. And trust me, you know me. I take action because successful people take actions and make decisions very, very fast. So when I heard about it, I jumped on a call, spoke to this gentleman I'm about to bring on the show and introduce to you, and I started asking him questions about how do you build wealth with insurance? How do you transfer wealth with insurance? And I have in the show today, David Gomez. He's a insurance broker reaching us all the way from Dallas today. Hey, nice
Yes.
seeing you again, David.
Great to see you again. It's a pleasure
Hi,
being on. Thank you for the privilege.
hi, welcome to Wealth Flow with the Black Mentor. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Amazing. So, we've been talking for a while and it's very, very interesting. First and foremost, why is it that, just introduce yourself, tell us what you do, how long you've been doing it. But I'm so eager. I want to jump into the meat, the real thing and
Yes.
crack this thing out. And but just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited for the conversation. Definitely a very meaty topic. But I'm David Gomez. I'm an insurance broker, originally from Los Angeles, California, relocated to Dallas, Texas to grow the insurance agency. We've been growing. And I've been now licensed around 8 years. We represent well over 30 different companies, top A-rated companies around the U.S. And we specialize in helping people grow money, access money, and transfer money tax free.
Amazing. Now, you are in this industry. I mean, a few of us know what insurance is all about. Trust me, with all the knowledge that I have, with all the success, in my own right that I've built, I never knew the kind of, I knew about term insurance, whole life insurance, and all that. But there's some people out there that don't even know about insurance. Tell us a little bit about what the insurance world is all about, what it does. Then we're going to specifically talk about what I just signed up with you recently.
Yes. So insurance traditionally is known to protect things in case they are lost or broken, right? So car insurance, health insurance, home insurance, right? Now, if you utilize an index universal life insurance policy, it's this type of life insurance is not focused on the death benefit. It's focused on the tax benefits within insurance. So that's why if you properly structure an index universal life insurance policy, you're going to be able to grow your money, access money, and transfer your money tax free because it's designed to take full advantage of the tax benefits within insurance.
Amazing. So let me hit this thing straight. You're live.
We're
Is
live.
it taxable?
Is it taxable? So when you have your money inside of insurance, what allows it to remain tax free is keeping your death benefit active. And here's why. The IRS looks at the insurance, looks at the vehicle as an insurance policy. The moment you get rid of your death benefit, it's now a taxable account. So what wealthy people, what affluent people do is they make sure that they leave at least 10% so that it could cover the cost of insurance. So by doing so, it could grow and access tax free.
Why are these things not being taught in school?
You know what? I think money in general is not taught, right? Whether we're talking about credit cards, we're talking about 401ks, we're talking about insurance. I think money in general is not taught. I think it should be. I remember taking a biology class, learning how to dissect a frog, and I've never had to do that in the real world, but I do taxes every year. You got credit cards, you have investments. So I just think overall, finances are not discussed. Now, specifically insurance, I think traditionally individuals only focus on what they know is the stock market, right? And the stock market has its role. It's focused on offense, growing money, growing money, growing money, but it also has some risk. And I say insurance is focused on defense, which is protecting the money that you've grown. So I just think overall finances should be discussed more in school.
Amazing. So who can actually have this insurance we're talking about? This universal index universal insurance. Who's qualified to have it?
So anybody who qualifies for a death benefit can have it. And here's the age limits: 15 days old. So you could actually get an index universal life policy on your child as long as they're 15 days old, all the way up to the age of 70, 75, depending on the company you go with. It's more favorable the younger you are because it's going to compound more over time. But as long as you're able to get approved through the underwriting process, medically you're in good standing, you'll be able to own a IUL.
When you talk about compound, it's something that people don't understand. But I came to understand compound like, every single day, if you multiply a dollar, it's amazing what you're going to get in 10 years. Tell us about the compound side a little bit when you're talking about, getting insurance. And, I also want you to attach it, I'm a businessman, I'm an investor. So if I am doing this, talk about the compound, they talk about how can people, because a lot of my students are in real estate, and I'm sure a lot of them are watching right now. Some of them are going to be watching later. How does this affect you if you're in real estate investment?
So compound interest, for those who many have heard of the topic, but what is compound interest? It's your money making money for you, right? You put in 10,000, 100,000, $1,000, and you allow it to grow. The interest on that money now becomes your money, and that starts to grow, right? So if you double a penny for 30 days, you end up with over $1 million. I think it's close to $5 million over the course of 30 days. Right now, there's two types of compound interest. There's interrupted compound interest, and then there's uninterrupted compound interest. So I'll give you one example. Whenever your money is in a vehicle where you can lose it, let's say a 401k is the most common. You put in X amount every month. When the market goes down, the compounding of your money is interrupted.
Correct.
So it needs to play catch up. So the compounding happens slower. Now, here's the benefit of an index universal life insurance policy. It comes with a cap, but it also comes with the floor. The floor is 0. So you will never have a negative year, which means, and this is the exciting part, and time to real estate, which means your money is your compound interest is never interrupted. And because you never have a negative year, it compounds fast because you don't have to catch up. Now you mentioned real estate. Can I mention how it ties into real estate?
Yes, please. That's what I was waiting for, man.
So compound interest you could get in different places, but here's what's unique about the IUL. When I work with a lot of real estate investors, some real estate agents, and whenever you put your money inside of an insurance policy, what's attractive about it is that when you put your money in, it's growing through compound interest. When you go to access it, you could borrow against your policy. And this is the biggest benefit. When you're borrowing against it, it's tax-free.
Amazing.
So I've met with real estate investors that have all of their cash in the bank in between transactions. And it works, but you're missing out on the compounded benefit. So in between transactions, the money in the IUL is still growing. You borrow against it tax, then you pay it back whenever you flip the investment.
Amazing. This is just getting interesting and interesting. So if I wanted to get into this program, what is the minimum contribution that I can make monthly?
So let's say it's a child. Let's say it's child 2 years old, right? I've seen parents do $100 a month for their kids, right? Now here's the rule I give for minimum contribution once you're an adult. If you want to add a zero to your age. If you're 20 years old, you want to do minimum 200 a month. If you're 40 years old, you want to add a zero, minimum 400 a month. So if you add a zero to your age, that's the minimum. However, the more you do, the faster it compounds.
Amazing. This is just so amazing. So, um, what are some of the success stories? People you've actually worked with in the past, and how has this whole thing helped them? I know you've been doing this for 8 years now. Am I correct?
Yes,
Just give
yes,
us one
correct.
or two scenarios out there.
So I'll give you a couple of examples. One of my first clients, this is nearly 8 years ago. Um, I won't do the math, but nearly 8 years ago, she called me 2 years ago in 2020 when COVID began. And she said, "Hey, David, I see the stock market going down. How much money have I lost?" And I was so proud to be able to say the answer with 100% certainty, zero. That's the benefit of an index universal life insurance policy. When the stock market goes down every year, whatever you grow gets locked in. Trusting me with her money for the last at that point in the last 6 years, I was able to share with her, "Hey, you have not lost any money. You'll flatline this year. You won't make any growth. But when the market starts to come back up, you're going to grow from there." So that's an example of how I've been able to help a couple clients protect what they have.
That's amazing. So, if I wanted to reach you now, let's say, I've watched this show and I wanted to reach out to you and get your information. What is the fastest way to do that? Phone number, email, or handle? Give us something.
Fastest way is going to be through social media. So whether it's Instagram or Facebook, if you the handle is this is David Gomez. This is David Gomez,
I
and
see that
then
on the screen.
also on the screen, I appreciate that. And then also, I'm very good through text. My phone number, I'll give it to you, is 909-565-2600. Whether it's through social media or text, I will return your call as soon as possible.
Amazing. So, I want to really thank you for the great work you're doing out there. Certainly this is not going to be the last time you're going to be coming on the show. I have already, gone into the program, and it's amazing. All the available resources that is out there for people who want to get into business, who want to build wealth, who want to transfer wealth. And talking about transfer of wealth, let's assuming somebody like me. I mean, I'm 45. Everybody knows that. That's not a secret. And I want to do a program. What is the minimum, or what do you think is the maximum I can cap and transfer? Let's say, God forbid, something were to happen.
So the minimum and the maximum to transfer, is that the question?
Correct.
Perfect. So the minimum is going to be based off of the contribution. So let's say at 40, you mentioned your age again, 40,
45.
45. Okay. So let's add a zero. So doing a $450 a month contribution, let's say that gets you a death benefit of $500,000. You have $500,000, and no matter what, if the individual were to pass away, that $500,000 will transfer tax free. However, inside of an index universal life, what also transfers tax free is all the cash value you have inside. So let's say over the next 15, 20, 25 years, you've accumulated another $500,000 in your
Yep.
account,
Contributions. Yep.
your contribution with the compound interest, the $500,000 of life insurance plus the $500,000 of savings, you'll transfer $1 million tax free. So that's the minimum. The maximum is, I believe it's 25 times your annual income. So if somebody makes $1 million a year, they could have up to $25 million of death benefit that they could transfer tax free.
Tax free. So the minimum, I mean, do you know what you just said? Any number with a million is a good number to me, whether it's one, two, three. So you're saying, minimal, okay, of $1 million, correct?
Yeah,
I just want to be sure I'm hearing the right thing.
you're hearing. Can I
That's
mention one
really,
more thing? Oh, go ahead.
yeah, that's really, really amazing. Yeah, you wanted to impute something real fast.
So so I grew up in a community where I'm 33 years old. If you add
Okay.
a zero to my age, is $330 a month. I grew up in a community where $330 a month was too much to contribute. But one thing I want clients to know as well is that if you need to start smaller, you could start with a term policy just to secure your legacy and you're able to convert that into an IUL when you're ready. Let's say there's a single mom, a single dad out there that could only do $40 a month, $30 a month, $80 a month. We'll get them a temporary policy, and once they go through your program, increase their income, get into a better spot, they're able to take that temporary policy and convert it into an IUL so that they lock in their rate at a young age. So just to mention that for some of the viewers.
That's amazing. Now, if you're watching, we've been talking about building wealth through, insurance, wealth transfer through insurance. And if you're there, you have a question, this is the time. David and myself are going to, and if you have any general question, David and myself are going to be going through the comment. We're going to be answering a few questions as they come from the background. If it has to do with insurance, I'm sure David is going to take on there. I don't like talking about things that I don't know. I don't pretend to know everything. But what I know, I talk about. So David is here. He's an insurance broker, and it's just amazing all the information that you can get. And that's what we do here. And when we're talking about wealth flow, you're talking about knowledge flow, and just passing knowledge, passing information. And that is one thing that I tell people. When you get information, don't hold it back. You won't believe it. For a long time, I just knew about time, even though I've built so much wealth in the United States, tell you there are many things that I don't know. I have a lot of very, very successful friends who have made, millions and millions and millions. I have a friend who has done over 1,500, that is 1,500 real estate deals. I can only boast for less than 100, even though I've had so much success. So these are guys that are doing millions and multiple millions of dollars, and they have information that I do not have. So hearing you talking about this and seeing all the possibilities that are available, it just makes me wonder, how far one can take this success thing to. And every single day, I just want to get myself, in a place where I can learn more, I can know more, I can get information. And of course, when I get this information, I can actually, implement them. Because at the end of the day, if you have all the information in the world and you do not execute them, you do not implement them, you're really, really not putting yourself in a good spot. So let's take a few questions as they come in live. Somebody says, "Good day, Black Mentor. I want you to mentor me in real estate. I live in Maryland here. I want to be part of your incoming bootcamp. I'll be glad if you can give me your contact." Now, you see, you don't need my contact for that. All you got to do is go to the website. You go to the website, you shoot us an email. One of my staff is going to respond to you. The website is joenantomah.com. Okay, right there, it's on the screen. joenantomah.com/events. Go in there, you see a link, you sign up, and you're on your way to being in the class. I always encourage you, take the first class, How to Be Successful in the Diaspora. It helps you, gives you that foundation where you know how to structure your business the right way, know where you're going to get funding, know what exactly you're getting into. Now, when you have that structure, then you can come to the boot camp, which is coming up on the 10th to the 12th of November. And there, I'm going to take you 3 days. I'm going to hold your hands and show you how you can start building this thing from zero. I just got out of a call before I jumped into the meeting. A lady had reached out to me from California, and she was asking me, how do I get successful with $5,000 in real estate? I said, well, if you called me 5 years ago, that would have been fine. But right now, with your $5,000, what you need to do is invest in yourself. The greatest investment you can give to yourself is investing in yourself. Go out there. The first thing, before you open your mouth to say anything, invest in yourself. Get some courses, go to programs, expose yourself to new information. It's amazing how people don't want to do this. They wanted a fast way, like a drive-through. I just drove through and I made the millions at the other side. You will not last. You won't. People just see me, all this, Again, I was on another call earlier this morning. I was talking to a guy that I had met, a business partner that I met in Virginia, came to my class, and I went to Virginia to do some transactions. And he was there when I was doing a transaction where I had to make a huge payment, for something that I wanted. And he has started seeing the result. And he said, Joseph, now I understand the sacrifices that you are making. It's not just sitting down and desiring to be successful. You have to get out there and invest in yourself. Pay the money, sign the check, make the transfer, sign up for the class. It doesn't necessarily have to be my class. You know, get out there and get information. There are so many people just sitting down. You have 5,000, you have 3,000. What are you saving it for? Get that money out there, invest in yourself, because when you invest in yourself, what you're doing is you're reaching out to the better version of yourself that is in your future. And imagine 3 years, 4 years from now, you don't have any new information. You don't have any new skills. Where you are is where you're still going to be in 4 years. Just picture that kind of scenario. That is why you need to start investing in yourself. You read books, you sign up for seminars, you make yourself available, you watch programs like this that is going to give you information. You listen to experts like David, people like me in real estate who can show you how to build wealth. But you know what? After you finish listening, you take action. What do you have to say about that, David?
I would absolutely agree. I think one of the comparisons I always make is in my degree. I remember growing up, everything was about go to college. For my degree, I invested 5 years of my life, $100,000, half of that being in student loans, the other half in scholarships. So $46,000 for a 5-year degree. And when I graduated, my very first job.
What did you study? I'm now curious. What did you study for that? For $100,000?
I was a counselor.
Yeah, I was a counselor. Okay.
So I went to a private school. It's the experience was great. I met my wife through there, but the program was
okay. That's fair enough. You paid $100,000 to get married. That's good enough.
That's a good investment, right? So yeah. But the loans, $46,000. My license cost me $500. I invested a couple $1,000 after that for some trainings, some boot camps. Yeah. So I highly recommend the boot camps. And my 2-week license makes me significantly more money than my 5-year degree ever did.